How's everybody out there in YouTube land today? I hope this finds you well. Here we are, ready for another episode of Heifer Haven's Free Advice. And we got our heifer over here all bug-eyed, wondering what we're going to come up with for today. And the first thing we got to do before we get started, more cowbell! Now that I got your attention, our letter today says, Dear Heifer Haven, how do you stop nosy people from coming around nosing into your business all the time? You've got some age on me, so you probably know how to handle this better than I do, so I'm coming to you for advice. Well, you didn't give me a whole lot of particulars here, so I don't know exactly what's going on, but you say there's nosy people coming around asking about your business, I guess. So here's what I suggest you do. If people don't have anything better to do than come around nosing in your business when you haven't invited them, I suggest that they need something better to do. They need something to keep them occupied. I'll tell you what I did once. And some of you that have been fans of mine have probably heard me tell this story before. I know I told it in a live stream once, but you might not have been there, so I'll tell it again. I had some nosy neighbors years ago when I was on the farm. After my dad had a stroke, they came out to the farm. They kept nosing, wanting to know, what are you going to do? Are you going to sell the place? Are you going to get livestock? What are you going to do? It wasn't none of their business what I was going to do. I didn't even know what I was going to do. I was busy trying to take care of my dad. So before they would leave, they'd always say to me, if you need anything, it's all you got to do is ask. Well, they kept coming around. Every 2 or 3 days, there'd be a different one coming. But they keep asking me this all the time. Is there anything you need? If you need anything, you just let me know. Now, you know that was all half-hearted, that they was just trying to be polite while they was nosing. So, after I'd heard this enough and got fed up with it enough, I decided, okay, y'all want something to do? Here we go. And down in the barn, there was a big old stack of iron gates, like they make these horse runs and stuff out of. If you've ever seen the pictures of the horse runs, they have great big old steel frame gates. There was a big stack of them down in the one shed. And so I said, okay, here we go. So one of them come nosing around, and before he left, he starts in about, if you need anything, you just let me know. I said, well, as a matter of fact, I do need some help with something. He said, really? Well, what is it that you need? I said, well, down there in that shed, there's a big stack of them iron gates. And I need them moved down around the back side of the barn down there. Just stack them up against the back side of the barn for now. But they need to come out of that shed. And I believe they might be too heavy for me to lift by myself. Do you think you can move them for me? Oh, sure, I'd be happy to do it, he says. So he goes down there and he gets all them gates, and one at a time, you know, it took him a couple hours. He got them all moved. He's all sweating and everything, and he gets in his vehicle and off he goes. A couple days later, here comes another nosy neighbor, starting in on me again. What are you going to do? You going to sell the place? Before he leaves, he starts the same routine. If there's anything you need, you just let me know. I'd be happy to help you. I said, as a matter of fact, there is something you can do for me. What is it? He says. I says, down behind the barn, there's a bunch of gates piled up back there that needs to come around and go in this shed up here. And I don't think that I could move them by myself. Could you move them for me? Oh, I'd be happy to, he says. So he goes down there, gets the gates, takes him a couple hours, and moves them up. He's all hot and sweaty, and he leaves. A couple days later, here comes another one. Same routine. We go through this again. He moves them back down behind the barn, stacked up. Hot, sweaty, leaves. I think I probably had those gates moved about 6 times before they all got to comparing notes. Because ever so often they'd all get together down at the truck stop to have breakfast, you know. And so I'm sure that they eventually got to comparing notes about, she had me move a bunch of gates for her. She had me move a bunch of gates for her. She had me move a bunch of gates for her. My only regret is I wasn't a fly on the wall when they figured out that I was giving them something to do. But you know what? They stopped nosing into my business and they stayed home and left me alone. I said it was free advice. I didn't say it'd be good.